Alright, the time has finally arrived. It is time to get into the holiday spirit. So, the winter map has been out for a while now. It has been up on PBE for multiple weeks, and it has been live for a week. And since the entire map has been one massive love letter to the community, which has been waiting for a winter map for 6 years now, Riot made sure to fill it with Easter eggs and references to the community. With that said, since it has been out for a week now, enough time had passed for people to judge it. And that is because while the winter map has been amazing when it comes to the fun factor, some people also bring up concerns when it comes to the brightness. I mean, snow is white, and in general people realize that night mode is always the best, and so imagine yourself getting blasted with white screen after playing years of a darker Rift. And so before we go crazy on diving into all the Easter eggs on the map, first let's tackle some of the gameplay issues that people might have with this map. Surprisingly, almost no one mentioned that champion abilities would be getting lost on the new map. I'll be honest, that's what I expected to see at first. Instead, there is one piece of feedback that was immediately brought up. Why is the winter map not optional? I don't understand why we can't disable this winter map, especially since it is way too bright. My eyes legit hurt after trying to play. I had to change all my video settings to make it less bright. I see no reason why it shouldn't be optional, to which the natural response was, it took them 10 years to make it and this guy wants to turn it off, my god! But yes, this is not an isolated incident, and there is a lot of people who would appreciate the option to turn it off. Which, I'll be honest, is a very valid request. This is what people have asked for ever since the Noxian map or the Spirit Blossom map came out. And it should be something that Riot seriously considers for the future. That is especially if they want to continue this trend of a new map every season. This is something that should be built in as an option, however, having a slightest idea of how the engine works, I can tell you right now, it's gonna be a hustle and a half to make sure the map can load in models and textures at runtime. If Riot makes it work, it would probably have to be an option you toggle before you launch the game. But interestingly enough, every time we got one of these posts of people asking for an option to disable it, there were other posts which praised the new map and which got a lot of upvotes. Winter map is goated. I've been seeing a lot of disdain for the winter map. I wanted to post to say the winter map is absolutely amazing. People are saying it's bright, but to be honest, it feels like I need to turn my monitor brightness up, which isn't a problem for me personally. The winter map before was bright and blinding, but I feel like they fixed those issues and I encourage everyone to get into the holiday spirit. What's everyone's thoughts so far? Well, I can tell you what is everyone's thoughts. I think it looks better than the one years before. This one looks nice and feels easy on my eye. In the past, I felt like it was too bright and white. Now, I'll be honest, I've played quite a few games on this map, and everything felt totally fine for me, but that could be because my main monitor is already slightly desaturated. That is because I don't really want to get overstimulated after a full day of staring into my screen. So I am currently sitting with the team, it's fine. And so overall, the stance of the community seems to be the classic 80-20. 80% of the community really likes the winter map for the fun factor at the end of the year. Thankfully, people aren't really taking this seriously after Worlds. But there is still the 20% of people who would like an option to disable it. And again, since this is a valid thing to request, Riot, next year, you know what to do. You're gonna be dealing with some more spaghetti. But with that sorted out, it is now time to dive underneath the map, as we always do. And it is time to see just what kind of secrets is this map hiding. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna be honest, it took me quite a while to launch a replay of the new winter map, which now also includes the amazing FPS camera, which means we can immediately start diving underneath the map. Also, I just played a normal game, so you'll just see a normal game in the background, but hold on. Whoa, hold on, I just realized something. The snow, because hold on, when you use normal camera, let's do a manual. At the beginning of the game, you can see the snow around the screen, right? So I thought that was drawn in the UI. It is not. If I go into FPS, you can see... Okay, it is attached to the camera. So there is a half globe attached to the camera, which means that if I go down, it stays the same level. That doesn't change. However, on this half globe, that's where they spawn the particles. Also, you can see half of these particles, or no, there are these dots that go down. Those are on the half globe. The rest is actually a parallaxing texture using a mask. And you can see it's like triplanar, meaning that if I move, the snow stays on the same place here. And my mind is blown. I thought the snow was UI. It is not. Anyway, okay, so we do what we always do, right? And we dive underneath the map at the first moment to see, is there anything hidden? Also, this snow will go away, but nope. This is surprisingly clean, because on the other maps, there was usually like a second merchant under the map or like something broken. Nope, this is all pretty clean. Which reminds me, was there something? No, that's just the village. I will need to hide all of these. Give me a second. Okay, everything is removed. So let's just start, besides the announcer for some reason, let's just start with what we have here at the beginning for the merchant. So first of all, we got a little good old Poro with some gifts, and there are already some Easter eggs. For example, there is the locket. It's not a heart locket. I forgot what it's called. It's an old item. We get a frozen mullet. We got... Does that say Bob? Oh, is this... Am I crazy, or was this a bullet shell that Graves had during the taunt? Does he have a Bob bullet shell? I'm confused. What is a Bob? Anyway, then there is a flask with a banana. I don't actually know what that is a reference to, but there is also a second place, which I am not sure what that is either. I think that is the new Wriggles Lantern. This is a good old mana potion. Then we have, this is definitely Luden's Echo. Underneath Luden's Echo, there is Deathfire Grasp. And that should be it, besides some candy cane and stuff. For this merchant, there is some good old Wurst. You know, Germany. Hey, look, I like Europe being represented here. Besides that, just Christmassy food. Nothing crazy. I noticed the nose has like fake lighting on it. It's not real lighting. It's like just a little bit of a plane with like fake light. I like that. So now let's move towards the actual fun part. If I pause just to not have the announcers, it will not have the same effect. We need the particles. So, is there anything crazy happening on our little town in the center? Nope, I don't think so. Because besides that, the turrets and the inhibitors and everything else is the same. So now we can start going along the map and find all these tracks. For example, there will be a lot of gingerbread around. So the first one is Timo. Then next to that, good old trees, nothing crazy there. And there is also Tibbers. I don't think the sled is gonna be an Easter egg towards anything, unless we count something like Brom riding on it. But there should be a bunch of Tibbersies around. And immediately, from what I've seen, just about half of all champions in League of Legends have some kind of an Easter egg here. And so here we have Kog'Maw. This is definitely Maokai with the sapling. There is also, yes, this Sparrow's just riding around. I believe he can... Oh, he's gone. I believe he can be seen in multiple places around the map. What else do we have? We have up here, that is Lulu. Oh, and besides... Oh, it's the old emblems, or I think the emblems of something. These are actually here on the normal Summoner's Rift as well, so it's fun to see that, like, they didn't remake a lot of the textures. They kind of like change the colors. Anyway, let's go along the wall towards top lane just in case we find anything here. So we have these little Pengus, which might be either Pengus or these penguins, I believe, appeared in some of the splash art of the original Christmassy skins. Then there is what I believe is Aurora, and next to Aurora we have what I believe is Gragas. Now, we'll see that there are some creator references around. I've heard that there is a reference to a Gragas player from like a Brazilian server or something who keeps talking about like Gragas's toes. You know, it's similar to like the old Sivir and Pizza Feet, so there should be a reference to that somewhere. Besides that, minion, and once again, that is the new Wriggles Lantern. Or new, there are two versions. Neither of them exists now, but this is the newer one. Let's keep going along the side here. We have Jinx's monkey. I believe this is actually specifically a model from the skin, because this model doesn't exist otherwise. But I think the Jinx Christmassy skin actually has this one somewhere. Then we have, obviously, Volibear and Gwen. I love these cookies. Besides that, there is Lulu again, another train. There is, oh my, they winterified the Kaisa. I kinda like it. Also, if I position it so it looks like a normal map, you can see in the background, I like all the lights. It makes you feel like a Coca-Cola ad if they didn't use AI for it. And hey, here comes the train again. We have more Poros enjoying hot chocolate. That's just Jinx, more Pengus, everything is the same. One more Deathfire Grasp, and that's Ziggs! A new snowman for Ziggs. And there is Tahm Kench with a little hat. But now, let's go back towards the bottom lane, and let's start going through the jungle. There is a new cookie, hold on. So there is, once again, there is Lulu, and next to Lulu, there is Bard. So Bard also has his own cookie. There is one more Tibbers. Nothing in here. Is there a dragonfly in my winter map? And it's gone. That is a proof that Riot is smart and they are using particle effects for the little bugs. Also, he's still here. Anyway, once again, okay, another Wriggles Lantern. I like that they are using these for the lights. Some Christmassy candles, and there is a new snowman. So hold on, where do I start? I guess I go through this. So, there is another Ziggs that we saw before, but there is also a Nautilus. This one looks awesome. I love this snowman. And okay, here. This is the old Wriggles Lantern. This is the old one from like 2012, probably. More Pengus, Aurora, Wriggles Lantern. It keeps repeating, but these three grubs, they actually do have their own cookies. These are the grubs. Again, it might be too late for them. Maybe they are dead in this game already, but as we keep going here, there's Lulu and Teemo, and that, oh my god, I forgot that's an item. That's a memory from the past. This isn't the Sorcerer's Elixir. This used to be the True Sight Elixir. You used to drink this, and you were able to see wards. I remember this. This was a while ago. I don't know what it was called. No, it was Oracle Ward, and it was Oracle Elixir. That's what it is. That's a blast from the past. Other than that, around this side, good old Grump just looks like a normal Grump. Nothing crazy there. And that is a new reference. This is the tome that used to be built into Hexagon Blade, the old one. And I forgot what it's called, but that's an old item as well. Is there a reference to Earth? There is not, because on the... Oh, that's Irelia. That's a new one. Irelia cookie. On the Harrowing map, on the old Halloween one, there used to be Earth, or the ghost of an Earth here. So I was wondering if there would be like a reference to that. But there is another Deathfire Grasp, and it is holding the Oracle Ward, which is the old pink ward, which is why the red wards are still called pink wards these days. Anyway, hold on. We have to have a look at this one. So as you can see, good old Harold is now a reindeer. And I'll be honest, that model looks amazing. But what else do you have in your pit? There is a reference to Valorant. This is definitely Valorant. This is the penguin they have there. More grabs, that is once again Kog'Maw, another Oracle Elixir. But hold on, as we move through the middle, there is another Tahm Kench. And that is... that has to be Zoe because of the two eyes, right? But Zoe also has a cookie. Let's see if there's anything here. Oh, there's Oriana. That's also a new one. Oriana and a minion. Nothing else that I can see from here. Also, hold on, as I'm moving towards the bottom lane, I noticed that's Ornn's Ram, just here in the base. What a cool model that is. So let's start here through in the middle of the jungle. So we have Gragas cookie. Once again, there's Gragas. Is there like a reference to the streamer somewhere? I don't know that streamer, but maybe the cookie is just a reference to them. That's also possible. There's just Ziggs and Tibbers. We do have quite some repeats. Oh, there is Shaco in the chicken den. Shaco is a new one that we haven't seen before. Outside of that, Master Yi, also a new one. There is a lot of champions, and that is a reference to Dumps. There is a Lilia with sunglasses, which is an obvious reference to Dumps. Outside of that, which to be fair, that is really cool. I wonder how many other streamers are still part of this. There is Briar. Here's a Briar cookie. There is another Tom Kench right beneath me. I also have to check if the Ninja Turtles are still there. Another new one is Tristana. There is a lot of champions here. Shaco and the Penguin from Valorant, and the spawn animation for our little train conductor. There is Kog'Maw and a tree. Nothing crazy here. Penguins and Jinx, and that's the old mana chalice. I forgot what it's called. That's a blast through pass too. Now this is a good model of the Wriggles Lantern that later became a thing, or at least it's the second version. Senna, a new cookie. There's a new cookie of Senna. Besides that, nothing on that side. And okay, we have to talk about that. So Krampus Atakan looks amazing. He has the red cloak, which looks amazing from top down, and the horns, and yeah, he got a little beard because of Krampus. And you can tell how much fun Riot had with this. Once again, Ziggs also, besides the snowman, Ziggs also has a cookie. Once again, Kog'Maw, Ziggs, and Tristana. Our Ninja Turtles there, they are. Oh, come on, nothing new here, huh? So this is an old reference to Ninja Turtles that is still there on the map. There is another Zoe, there is another Bard, and oh my god, that's a chunky Urgot. So this is the Urgot I noticed on during their promo video. This Urgot actually comes from the old Little Elf Teemo skin, which is yeah. Hold on. So what does it look like with the normal map? Oh, sorry, with the normal camera. Yeah, you can see it. So if you go too far, you'll miss it. But if you go just right enough, there's a giant Urgot. There is the Chalice again. There is the Jinx Monkey. There is another Wriggles Lantern. A lot of lanterns around. Oh, and these are a reference. These are a reference to the infamous clip of Skara not being able to ward over the Dragon Pit. And so he throws a ward on either side, which are these two. These two are the reference. And then this is Skara. This ward that actually made it into the bush. This is really cool. I like this one. That's a really creative one as well. And I wonder who came up with the idea for this one. Alright, continuing on. Oh, the little dragon emblem thingy has a little nose for a reindeer. So we talked about the Krampus. Besides that, there is a new cookie. This is Aphelios. There is also Heimerdinger. Heimerdinger is a new cookie here. Wait, hold on, there is a new cookie. Blitzcrank! That's a Blitzcrank cookie. Next up, we can see that the little critter, our little froggy boy, has a Christmas hat. I appreciate that. Let's just keep going through here. I'm looking for a new cookie that we haven't seen before. There is a new cookie, hold on. Oh, speaking of new cookie, there is two. There is an Azir cookie, and also, hold on. That's not normal, right? It's not supposed to have a crown. Is there a Red King? Is that Cadril? Is that what it is? Just in theory. I'm just putting it out there. Is that actually Cadril, a Red King? It's there. It's not moving. It's part of the environment. I think it's just supposed to sit there. I think it's actually Cadril. Unless Riot just like made up something with that. I don't know. Alright, as we keep going, before we go into the top side, we can see Minion, Caster Minion, Heimerdinger, Ziggs, and oh boy, what do we have here? There it is. What do we have here? So this is the one that I saw the screenshot of before. Yeah, that's me. Simple as that. That's a reference to myself. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Riot. This is really cool, and it's gonna be in the game forever now. Hold on. You know what? I'm skipping ahead. But right besides the Vel'Koz, which I am actually playing in this game, that is, wait. I think because of the paint and the weird eye. So, jumping through the top side. Is there anything new here? What I like is that they actually put the T1 above the cup. Now, the cup is still here. Even on the winter map. Up there is actually another Urgot. This is a smaller version of the Urgot. I believe this is the one that was shown in the trailer, which can be found around the top side. And there is a Poro that... What the heck did that Poro do? Sir, do you want to be a deer? Are they animated? They are. Isn't there supposed to be like a stack of these somewhere? Or are they stacking up? Oh! They are in fact stacking up! I like this. I don't know what... I don't know if this is also on... I don't think this is on ARAM. So was this made from scratch? Probably. Maybe. I don't know. There is a reindeer version of the Damkench. Is the lizard a reference to something? I don't know. There is Santa. Whoa, there is a Santa Poro! I haven't seen this one on another place. Also, snowy owls. I genuinely don't know if the normal summoners... Oh, we can see it's coming. Oh, you know what it is? Is that Swain? Is Swain nearby? It is Swain. Okay, you know what? Swain tricked me for a second. It's actually Swain's owls. And it happens to be that he has a snowy skin and it tricked me. Okay, so it's Swain. It's a Swain skin. Gwen in the background. Hold on, there's something there. What is that? You thought you would hide from me. I like how that one is invisible because if you watch, hold on, if you look at it from a normal camera. Oh, you can see it. Okay, you can see it. The base is relatively clean. Of course, there is a new Nexus. There is a few cookies in the background. And the final reference that should be in here is this fountain, which there seems to be a lot more happening here. Hold on a moment. So let's start from the top. I don't think you'll see these connected to anything if you use the normal camera, right? Because if you'll have a look, yep, it kind of like just cuts off, so that's all clean. However, here we can see a little Poro with a gift. We can see Pangu. I believe this is one of the Pangu emotes with the hat. That's was a Twitch drop maybe, or I don't know where it came from. There is a Feather Knight Pangu. There is a Santa Poro, and there is a... I don't know what this one is doing. Then there is the deer. Now, I believe this one is the ward. There is a Christmassy ward that is using this deer, and I don't think the deer appears anywhere else. Now, this seems to be full of references. So, first of all, a Mumu, obviously. Then, I believe... So, there is Gragas, Santa Gragas. I think... It's not a Shaco box. I think this is a sapling. This is the Christmas tree Maokai sapling. This is either the blade of the Christmas Sivir, or it can also be on the staff of the Winter Soraka, but I think that one has a different shape, so it might be just Sivir. And I am definitely sure this is the one that Fiddlesticks is holding. That's the little cane. Then we have Gangplank. I don't think these are... Unless it's Misfortune, but I don't think so. Gangplank, Rel, Renekton. Then we have the deer. Does this deer also appear on a skin line somewhere? I don't think so. So it might, again, just be the deer for a ward. Then this is Nar. This is the dagger that the Winter Katarina has. And this is the Snowblower Graves gun. Money, that's not really related to anything, I don't think. This is Frozen Mullet. Is that something? I genuinely don't know what this is, but it seems like it is a reference to a skin or something. Then there is the Orn Ram. I really appreciate this one. A Grubby. Oh my god, this is the Banner of Command. Old item. Oh, there's a Hexagon Blade. Randomly in here. And I think that is it. Is that it? That might be it. That might be all the references from this map. So from the big ones that I saw, there is the Necrit one, which is a snowman. There is the Dumps Lilia. That's another creator. There is the Skara ward that is right there. There is, I still do believe, that's Cadril, because that's a red king. However, I want to see the other one, because this one has the crown, because it's visible right here. And I want to see if there is another one. You have a crown, sir? You don't, which means the other one has to be a crowned on purpose, which again means that's likely Cadril. Other than that, we always do the classic of diving underneath the map, but somehow Riot made it clean as heck. And there... Hang on a moment. I think Baron is just about to spawn and we managed to catch Baron under the map. This is really cool! And it's also a pure coincidence. But yeah, Baron actually... Oh my god, I love the ears being the poros. This gives us a perfect opportunity to just see what it looks like. But yeah, hey, that's just Baron under the map. So that is it for the references. I would very much like to thank Riot for just pulling this off, because I'll be honest, this is what people have been asking for a while, and indeed, people actually appreciate this. There are a lot of people who want an option to disable the map, but I'll be honest, I think they pulled it off pretty well. I played on this map a couple of times, and I never really had an issue with this. I immediately got adapted to it, and so you know what, Riot, next year, we're getting a proper Halloween map, right?